Across the vastness of Oxford lies an often overlooked community. This is Rose Hill. It's a humble neighbourhood with a population of 4,000 people, but one with great potential that we'll explore through this video. This is Nick. Nick is a resident of Rose Hill. We'll be following Nick to see how he engages with the neighbourhood and to imagine what improvements might benefit him and the others in the community. Here is an overhead map of Rose Hill. The key areas of note are Iffley Lock, Rose Hill Nature Reserve, the Central Park, the Oval, and the cafes. Here lies Rose Hill Central Park. This is an important point for the community, providing green space for leisure, fitness, and sport. This park is relatively central, and therefore accessible to most Rose Hill residents. However, other green spaces are not as equally available. The allotments, Nature Reserve, and Iffley Lock are all situated on the west side of Rose Hill. This means residents living in the east side have a harder time using these assets. Rose Hill is quite car-oriented. Local buses are infrequent, expensive, and of poor coverage and links. Because of this, most Rose Hill residents own a car, which can make crossing streets difficult. The loud noise of traffic can also make a lot of streets feel unpleasant. Our research team was tasked with creating a small-scale intervention for Rose Hill. Our design will mostly address access to green spaces, making public spaces feel more social and interconnected, and decreasing the prevalence and reliance on cars. The area we chose for our redesign is the Oval. The Oval is a large roundabout in the centre of Rose Hill, with a fairly sized green space in the middle that features trees, bushes, and some benches. The area currently has strong connectivity via buses, and is in close vicinity to other high foot traffic areas in Rose Hill, such as Rose Hill Primary School to its north, and a pedestrianised area with convenience stores to its south. It's also close by to the community centre, which is an important hub for Rose Hill. Despite the strong location of the site, it is primarily used to walk through, and barely used as a destination. The constant passing of cars makes the benches feel unpleasant and exposed. Similarly, the southern area has too much surveillance in the adjacent houses. This invokes the feeling of loitering, and disincentivizes staying and using the Oval. Because of this, the Oval doesn't see much use, and this can make certain residents who do use it feel quite lonely. Our redesign will enhance the use of the green space, and make the Oval an attractive destination for all residents. With all this in mind, this is the design we came up with. Our design features a performance stage, gardening area, playground, pop-up cafe, and a revamped transport network. The hedges form a maze-like design that contrasts with the open fields of the close-by park. These reduce feelings of surveillance and exposure to a more sensible level, which incentivizes play and use. Currently, the Oval feels isolated due to the surrounding roundabout. Our design will completely pedestrianize the bottom half, which makes traversing the area seamless and connects it to the surrounding areas. To achieve this, we will continue the brick pattern found in the south pedestrianized area, and raise it to the pavement level to create a curbless environment. In terms of cars, the remaining northern part of the roundabout will be used to create a new one-way route. This road will include chicanes, raised crossings, and have a narrow design which slows cars and improves safety for the school. Some new parking spaces will be added to minimize the net loss, though it's worth noting these spaces weren't the most used anyway. The area will also include a sheltered bus stop, and buses to Rose Hill will have increased frequency and coverage of the area. The design of the green space can be split into 4 different sections. The first section is for gardening. Rose Hill was considered a food desert as residents lack easy access to affordable, fresh food. While we are unfortunately restricted in addressing this through a small-scale design, gardening would still be good to incentivize and teach healthy eating, particularly through the school and community centre. The playground is in the centre of the new design, and exists to create a multi-generational environment. It would likely be used by many children from the primary school, while teenagers and adults would likely hang out in the seating booths at the stage area. Hedges separate these areas, but have enough gaps and sightlines that the different generations would feel connected, but not overly monitored on either end. The stage itself would be used for outdoor community events, likely organised by the school and community centre. The final section is a 2-floor pavilion. This includes more seating and is connected to the playground via a bridge on the top floor. This continues our philosophy of connecting different uses and generations. The pavilion itself stores maintenance equipment for the area and offers shelter to avoid rain. And lastly, our design features a pop-up cafe, which works well with the new seating areas. There aren't too many cafes in Rosehill, and the ones that are present are on the east side. Therefore, this cafe will improve many residents' proximity to a cafe and give them an excuse to spend time outside and be social. We visited Rosehill Community Centre to speak to residents about our design. Here's what they had to say.
I think it's a really great idea. I think it's a nice way to get the community actually using that space better, because I think it is very underused. And I think if it's pedestrianised, you'll get a lot more people coming together, sitting together, especially when you look at the older communities or even people with children. A lot of them may not use it because of the fact there's a lot of traffic around the area.
There are aspects of the design that I really like. I like that you've used lots of different areas and given them a feature, and I like the different use of materials throughout.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope that this has got you to think about the potential ways that underused space could be used to improve communities and bring them together.